like it's miles from where we started. I should have never walked away. And parts of me believe that I should have seen it coming. I wish we had another day. Looking back, I understand all the things that didn't go the way I planned. All these thoughts keep me awake. It's this feeling that I can't shake. But we kept running and running, though we were out of breath. Wish I could have known that we're broken by the weight that's on my chest. I need to know how we got here so I can stand my ground. I just want to make it right this time around. From time to time, I still think about the good and the bad, just to remind me it was real. It takes a lot to learn from tragedy and where we went wrong, but I'm sure that we can heal. Looking back, I understand every word and every moment replays. All these thoughts keep me awake. It's this feeling that I can't shake. But we kept running and running, though we were out of breath. I wish I could have known that we're broken by the weight that's on my chest. I need to know how we got here so I can stand my ground. I just want to make it right this time around. Looking back, I understand every moment, all the things that didn't go the way I planned. Inside my head, all these thoughts keep me awake. It's the feeling that I can't shake. You and me, we're on tonight. There's a breeze and fading light, far away to open sky. Lonely beach where no one goes. Open eyes and open roads. What we dream is what we know. I wanna run away in a one-way dream with you. I wanna run away in a one-way dream with you. I wanna run away in a one-way dream with
Hello guys, I hope you're having a splendid day out there, and that was some laggy transition going on there. It's Sunday, and it's Sundays with Nacka. On today's stream, we are going to go through some Nackanews. For you who don't know what that is, it's pretty much news from Sweden, or news that I think is interesting. Following that, we are going to do the Swedish word of the week. I'm gonna teach you a word, or I'm gonna tell you as much as I can about it, at least. I don't know if I'm that good at teaching stuff. And after that, and also before that, we're gonna have some Q&A and, you know, general goofiness, because I am a mumbo-jumbo Swede from the good country of Lisvesia. So that is the schedule for today. And there is my face. How are you guys doing out there? Hope you're having a splendid evening, because it's Sunday and it's the end of the week. I'm gonna do a thing that I know Alexi himself does a lot, and you know, Alexi is a good friend of mine, and I have to like mimic him sometimes. So if anybody could type from where they are in the chat, it would be awesome for everybody to see where everybody's from. I am from Sweden, so I can pretend to type it. I am from Sweden. Hi there, Nack. Oh, I just realized that. I'm gonna look at the Turku, Finland, Latvia, Norway. One second. I just forgot to lit the light here. Oh my god. Norway, Portugal. Hi, I am from Sweden. Oh, it seems like you learned a little bit of Swinglish there. United States, England. Very cool to see a lot of people from around the world. And as it was mentioned here by MJ, I think, I just released a video where I know it's a short video, but I teach you a little bit how to talk Swinglish. And it was great fun to do. It was really fun to do, and it got nice reception, which is nice. It's always nice to see. But one of the things I think I took from that mostly was that a lot of people seems to be wanting more videos, and I know. I've been a little bit absent lately on YouTube for a reason, and one of the reasons is that I've been streaming a lot, and not here on YouTube actually. I've been doing that over on Twitch. And here is my live stream schedule, so this is something I do now. I know a lot of you don't know about this, but I stream on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. CT, a time which not everybody know, like they don't have time to do it. People are in school or working, but hey, if you can make it, you can fake it. I don't know what that meant. And then I stream on Sundays, you know, right now, you know, yeah. Argentina, fourth dimension. That doesn't sound like a real country. But yes, I will actually try to get into doing more videos, and hopefully longer as well. But I got one comment that it was very short. I get it, like you want longer videos and stuff, but that particular video I did about Swinglish, it took pretty much all day to make because I had to put up the whole green screen, and I had to rotate it and put the camera in an angle where I could shoot my whole body and, you know, do all these weird stuff. And to be honest, when I shot the video, I actually thought that I had this is guaranteed 6-7 minutes. And then when I edited it was like, why is it not coming over 2 minutes? I'm like, fuck. So, but then again, I genuinely had really fun time doing that. I don't know why I have a plastic bag here. Does anybody miss their plastic bag? Hello? Ukraine? I added you on Twitch. Very nice. So if you're interested, I like play games on Wednesdays, so that's what we're gonna do. As I mentioned before, we're gonna in a little while we're gonna get into Nackanews and the recent events over in Sweden. But before that, I just came with this spontaneous idea of going over here and doing a little bit of a language challenge. And I know a lot of you have seen me do these before, but not this one. I'm sure you haven't. As you can see, I've already started it because I wanted to see if we're gonna refresh the page. Maybe they... Oh yeah, they randomized it, okay.
Natuurlijk, dis 'n baie skerp taal. Mens kan allerhande interessante idiome skep.
It sounds like Swedish.
Dinge sê. Natuurlijk, mens kan baie respekvol wees, maar
oh my god, it sounds like made up Swedish.
Jy weet, kaalvoet, plakkies.
I think it's Afrikaans because Afrikaans is somewhat related to Dutch. And, you know, Dutch to Swedes sounds like made up Swedish. Hello from Mexico. Hello. I suggest you to do your insights about everything relevant to Nordic. What do you mean by that? Is that anything particular and specific? What did I mean by saying that? Anything particular and specific? All right, but We're gonna move. I'm gonna guess for Afrikaans, and I was correct. It was Jeremy speaking Afrikaans. What languages can you speak fluently? I can speak Swedish, and I can speak English. The other languages I can barely. I can't speak it fluently. Like German, I know a little bit. I can like understand bits and pieces when it's written and stuff, and I try to learn German, but no, not that good.
Akat e kera u buti deshu jek bersh, numai jurnalistis ju ma ke deshu duj bersh.
Oj,
Ciuma
a lot of
gorimo o fakulteti vasho massivune komunikipja taj žurnalizmu.
Oh my god, that's either Romani, which I think it is, or Azerbaijani. And I can't say I've heard Azerbaijani that much. And people in the chat seems to be guessing Romani. Kannst du das verstehen? Ja, ich kann. My Swedish pretty good. Thank you. I practice a lot of my Swedish. Men jag kan inte tala så bra svenska varje dag. Romani because it sounds Latin influenced. That was exactly what I was thinking. We're on the same page. And apparently he's right.
Radim u srpskoj redakciji, što je normalno jasno. Radim već 4 godine na RTK-u. Živim u Gračanici, imam 27 godina. Tu živim sa svojom porodicom. Diplomirani sam novinar I završila sam studije u...
Vad fan sitter du och säger?
That was confusing because sometimes I heard like a little bit of Portuguese in there or something. So my first thought was Catalan, but then like it felt a little bit like Eastern European in that way. It was a little bit like Serb. I don't know. I can't say I'm very good at the Eastern European languages. I can't really distinguish them that well. But people in the chat seems to guess Polish. Was that Polish? One more time.
Radim u srpskoj redakciji, što je normalno jasno. Radim već 4 godine na RTK-u. Živim u Gračanici, imam 27 godina. Tu živim sa svojom porodicom.
This is not Polish. This is definitely not Polish. Like, I don't want to say definitely because I'm probably gonna get this wrong. But you know, I've heard Polish a few times in my life. I haven't heard Serbian that many times. I definitely haven't heard Catalan and Azerbaijani neither. So I'm gonna go for Serbian. I don't know. Oh, can I get an applause? Thank you. By the way, does this work? This one? It did. All right. Very nice. We're gonna go over to the next one.
Kinki kotik I na kink ishtachche chu bishik cher kinkuni kinchaf pakicheb sharumalcher qata amlek el rahoshika
It's not Russian. It's not Swahili, I think. There was a lot of so Arabic? Nah, not really. But I don't know this Kish Mayan. Can't say that I know that much about that. Let's see. Where is that? Kish Maya? Is it in South America? Kish people are in the of the Americas, of the Maya people. Okay, makes sense. Let's go back. That's definitely either Arabic or Swahili. What do you guys think in the chat, by the way? Swahili. Everybody says Swahili, or the last one. This is not Russian. Let's hear it again.
Kinki kotik I na kink ishtachche chu bishik cher kinkuni kinchaf.
This is not Arabic either, so I'm gonna deduce it back to Swahili, like you guys say. Oh, what the? Okay, so I haven't heard. The Kish Mayans. I don't know if I'm even Kish pronouncing that correctly, but it's an American language. Okay, that's good to know. Very nice. We learned something here today. It wouldn't be fun if I got these all.
ఇప్పుడు నేను నా వయసు యొక్క మనిషితో మాట్లాడుతుంటే అనాధికారంగా మాట్లాడవచ్చు.
This is somewhere in
అతనిని లేక ఆమెను నేను నువ్వు అని పిలవచ్చు.
India, Pakistan, maybe.
అదే కాస్త వయసులో పెద్దవారితో
Bangladesh.
మాట్లాడుతుంటే నేను మీరు.
All right, so it's not Arabic. Ooh, these are 3 languages that I can't really place them. Like Farsi, Urdu, and Telugu. Telugu, I know Urdu is like in India somewhere. Maybe not, like in that region at least. I sound so freaking ignorant when I don't know all these. But, you know, it seems like a lot of you are going for... You're all saying either 3 of these. Farsi is Afghanistan, at least. Okay, so perhaps it's Telugu or Urdu. You know what? I'm gonna go with Urdu because that's the only one that I can pinpoint to that location. Oh, it was Telugu! No! I failed you. I failed you. Damn it! All right. It seems like a few of you got that right.
Lakini naona kama haifanyi kazi. Mfano, music mashuleni haipo tena. Ni jambo linalosikitisha sana. Mimi nafundisha music na struggle sana. Kwa sababu tunafikiria kwamba tunapokea watu, tunawaanzia chini sana lakini hawawezi kuachieve. Hawawezi kufika kule unakotaka tarajia.
Oh, we have Joachim in the chat. I see you took my advice, babe. Everybody say hello to Joachim. He is said in Swedish, by the way. This is African language. It's either... It's a pretty trick. Like, it could be Swahili, Zulu. It's not Telugu, because that wasn't the... So it's Zulu or Swahili. People are thinking Zulu or Swahili. Nice. Oh, by the way, everybody who's come here from Twitch and wondering, like, what the hell? Why are you not on Twitch? It's Sunday. Why are you not on Twitch? I decided to switch it up this Sunday just to, like, you know, keep you on your toes, you know? I have no idea. Swahili, Zulu, Swahili. Let's go for Swahili. Oh! It's a boy. It's a boy. That's my way of winking and looking sexy, by the way. You don't know, Nackagubben, what are you? A racist? You think? Oh my god. I hope not. I hope you don't think that.
从小到大的朋友或者我所熟悉的文化、生活方式，完全在离开长春的那一刻就断了。所以，对我来说，我一直都会觉得东北。
First thoughts. I've heard this. I've heard this before. It's either Mandarin or Cantonese. All right. Which one is it? It's definitely not Korean. Or is it? Is it?
所有从小到大的朋友或者我所熟悉的文化，
Yeah, this is the Chinese language. There's a lot of
就断了，所以对我来说，我一直都会觉得东北是。
I actually, I had Chinese colleagues 2 years back, and they taught me a few. Okay, let's say it like this. They tried to teach me a few Chinese sentences, but as you know, I'm an ignorant Swede. I don't know how to pronounce Chinese words, especially since I haven't studied. But it was fun. I can't really remember any of the sentences I learned, but I remember one particular moment where one of the guys were like trying to teach me a word. Like, it's sure. I don't know if it was like that, but I'm like, in my mind, I was saying the exact same thing like he was saying. But he's like, no, that's not even close. I was like, it's pretty much the same. He's like, sure. He's like, no, it's sure. I was like, hey, I just said sure. No, it's sure. And I was like, oh, how am I supposed to do this? All right. So let's try either. Yeah, we're as people are saying in the chat, we can exclude Korean or Mongolian. People have said Cantonese a lot. I don't know the difference. Your English accent has improved wonderfully in 3 years. What? Has it? No, it was Mandarin. God damn it. I thought I had well, it was a 50-50 chance. But Jordan, do you think my English accent was horrible? I don't have any problem with that. That's good. It's good that it has like improved or stuff, but you know, it's good to hear. Good to hear. But I didn't actually realize that I had like an improvement or at all. But yeah, is it? Which question is it? Is it the last one? Yes. Oh, it's my right ear. My right ear.
我媽啦、我姨啊咁樣就出世啦，咁樣之後我媽慢慢咁樣捱就好啦，就到我啦咁樣，咁結果
What was that? What was that? Like, it's definitely not Mandarin because and
咁就之後游完水落嚟就好啦，由零開始重新嚟過咁樣，跟住結果
people are thinking Taiwanese. It does sound a little bit Chinese. I don't think it's Korean. Oh my god. Joachim, our Say It in Swedish language master says it's Taiwanese. Should I trust Joachim? Yes or no? Why would that make any sense? He lives in Germany. He's trying to learn Finnish. Why would he know this? I don't know. But I'm gonna go with you, Joachim. I'm gonna go with you this one. Oh no! Joachim! You failed me! It's not the end of the world. We got 4 out of 8. It's like 50%. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good for a Swede like me who don't know anything, really. All right, guys. That was the little language quiz that we did before doing the rest of the stuff. Which is, on today's stream, we are going to head into a piece of section. Nice Swedish there, my fellow Swede. I'm talking to myself. Called Nackanews, which is basically news from Sweden. And if you're wondering why this is taking so long, it's because I'm trying to prepare in the background. Following that, we are going to do the Swedish word of the week. It's not the world. Swedish word of the week. I'm gonna teach you a word. I'm gonna tell you everything I know about the word. Yes. And following that, we're gonna continue with the Q&A randomness. I might not be as responsive to the chat. Well, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat while we're doing this. Doing this. Doing that. My computer's not cooperating. Okay, let's hope that this intro doesn't lag, but it's probably gonna lag. Well, let's hope. Keep our fingers crossed. No, it's not working. Well, there's gonna be a new segment here. Okay, on today's Nackanews, we will have a detailed look on how the Swedes voted in the elections. But first, a new Swedish documentary series about reducing food waste. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nackanews. This is your host, Nackagubben, and we are in the fine little studio of Sweden. I'm trying to. It was very quiet here in the background for some goddamn reason. I wanted to put on some music while we are. While I'm talking. I'm gonna get into this very soon. Okay, there we go. Nice studio. Thank you so much for that. All right, where was I? I lost my freaking manuscript there. Alrighty then. As I said, what the hell is going on? Too loud of a music here. There we go. Ba-ba-bum. Technical issues. Okay, there's a new series on SVT, or the Swedish television, called Maträddarna, or translated into Food Rescuers. It's a pretty good name, I think, for a series, actually. Anne Lundberg and Paul Svensson have made a documentary series in which they bring up one of the most debated issues of our time, especially here in Sweden, at least. The food waste. There's a lot of food waste going on, and my hand is being cut off for some goddamn reason. In this documentary, they visit farmers, shops, industry, and consumers to try to figure out what we can do to reduce the amount of food that is being wasted every single day. According to the documentary, about 1/3, no, you didn't hear me wrong, 1/3 of the food produced in Sweden will eventually be tossed away and never get eaten. And this is a big problem if you think about the climate and environment and all that stuff. So I think this is a good documentary. And since Paul Svensson is a well-known chef here in Sweden, there's also going to be recipes and tips on what you can make with the food that would otherwise get tossed away. So we're gonna look at some of these tips in a few moments. In an interview on the Swedish television, One's SVT, it's called in Swedish, one interesting recipe that caught my eye was mentioned, and that was called kaffesumpsknäcke. And that is roughly translated into used ground coffee hard bread. So hard bread with ground coffee that has been used on it. It sounds like, that's a bit gross actually, but when you think about it, like, ground coffee is basically a bean that we've grounded and then just pour a bit of water through it to eat, like to drink the water that's run through it, and then the rest is just thrown away. So I really like the idea of making food out of things that would otherwise get tossed away. So let's have a little bit of a look on how it could look when from this documentary, basically. All right, I'm gonna move on to boop, 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 boop. See if this works at all. This is Swedish television, and hopefully I'll post the link to this documentary in the chat after this segment. So this first bit here is they make cream cheese out of old cheese bits. It's a short clip. So some cream that has been cooked or boiled, and then you have to mix it all, and then you have some tasty cream cheese. Very nice, very nice. Looking very nice, looking very, very nice. And then onto a recipe which I really want to try, which is cold smoked carrot hot dog. Very, very interesting. So this is carrot in bread. And apparently you take these and you like put these on fire and put it out, and then you put it into the oven like that. Very, very nice. And then you put it in there for like 20 minutes or something. Oh yeah, 20 minutes. It's like I know this. And then you basically just boil the carrots. And it becomes like hot dogs. Very, very cool. It looks very, very yummy indeed. Alrighty. So that was Maträddarna. A little bit of a cool little segment. I'm gonna jump over here and hopefully just cut that one. Nope. There we go. Alright, so welcome back to Nackanews. Let's see. I want to post a link to that section. I should have been better prepared on that. Where are we? We are Season 1. There we go. I'm going to post the link to the first season here in the chat. There we go. For anybody who is interested and knows a bit of Swedish, I should warn everybody who don't know Swedish that well. It's in Swedish. All right. We're going to move on to the next piece of segment here in Nackanews. We're going to talk about the Swedish elections. And as a lot of you know, we held a little bit of an election night stream here on YouTube where we follow the election night. And as it was evident on that night, there was no conclusion on what happened. What party should rule the country or not. And actually, there hasn't been any conclusions ever since there. So they're still debating how to settle the scores between the different blocks, but I thought, or I found this very nifty page where they go through how the Swedes actually voted, and that actually gives a little bit of a section. It gives a detailed overview over the Swedish population in that sense, which I thought would be interesting to go over together in this Nackanews. All right, we're going over here. So the Swedish vote. This is also a webpage which I can link to you if you're interested in watching this. You know, on your own. If there's parts of this that looks very interesting. So join us in a deep dive of Sweden's 6,000 constituencies. You know, it's a word. It's an English word. To take a closer look at how the Swedish have voted around the country and how the local results relate to the demographic variables such as income, education level, and blah blah blah. And as you can see here on the left, we have Sweden, the Swedish map. And what's interesting about this map, when I looked at this page, is that every single dot on this map represent the most popular party, which we are going to see here. The red ones are, or the dark red ones are the left party. The slightly brighter red ones are the Social Democrats. The green one are the Green Party, or the environmentalists, basically. We have another set of green, which is the Center Party. The dark blues are the Liberals. The light blues are the Moderates. The even darker, or almost purple ones, are the Christian Democratic Party, and the yellow one are the Sweden Democrats. And as you can see, the Sweden Democrats are very popular down here in the south. In Skåne, for example, it's pretty much all yellow. But up here in the north, it's very scattered, but it's also very red. So the Social Democrats are very popular as here. What's very interesting to note is that in the bigger cities, like over here, I don't know how well you know your Swedish or Sweden geography, but over here on the east coast here is Stockholm. And as you can see, here we have Gothenburg, and down here we have Malmö down here. So in the bigger cities, the moderates seems to have the bigger upper hand, which is an interesting part. In my opinion, you might like, oh, I'm not interested. But we're coming to, oh my god, I'm getting spammed on Steam here. Let me take that out. But when we're getting to this is where it gets cool. Look at that animation, by the way. Oh my god. Did you follow what happened? We're still looking at Sweden, but we reshaped it a bit to make it able to look to make it able for us to take a closer look. The clusters of light blue dots, as you can see here, are the major cities in Sweden where the moderates are often in the biggest party. So this is kind of what Sweden are represented like. This is very cool map. This is how people voted in 2014, 4 years ago, and as we can see, it's less yellow at all. It's just moderates over here, and then we have the Social Democrats pretty much all over the country. And this is also 2014. We can see it as a grid. A lot of Sweden Democrats and moderates, and Sweden Democrats weren't that big back then. But if we move over to 2018, you can see that the Sweden Democrats has almost gained. That's pretty much catched up with the rest of the guys, pretty much. In 2014, sometimes your English "the" becomes a D. I meant my comment as a praise, not criticism. All right, interesting. In 2000, oh, so I say 2000? 2000? Do I say that? 2000? Maybe I do. All right. So the second largest party, the Swedish Democrats are the second largest in 36% of the constituencies. That's the word again. In 2014, the corresponding number was 21%. The moderates are the second largest in 27%. That is, was that correct? I don't know. Maybe that was correct. That seemed, it should be correct. Here we can see the income. The word of the I need to learn this word. Constituency squares have now changed. The constituencies are now sorted by income, with the highest median at the income at the top. The colors still represent the largest party in the constituency. We can still see a clear correlation between the high income and the moderates being the largest party. Yeah, that's interesting. So there's like, if you have high income, you're bound to, or a lot of people with high income, they vote for the moderates, while people with lower income, they tend to vote for Sweden Democrats or these the social democrats. Very interesting. So this is a website I definitely suggest you to have a look at. Do you have a coalition in Sweden right now? We haven't really decided. It hasn't really been decided who's gonna lead the country by now. There could actually be a chance that it goes over to a second or a re-election, which I hope it won't be a thing. I'm gonna post the link here in the chat if you're interested in taking a closer look. I still getting hard here on Steam for some reason. All right, that was the Nackanews. It was a bit of a short segment, but I wanted to keep it short and interesting. All right, I'll give myself an applause because I felt a little bit stressed there. I need to chill down here a bit. Let me just tell my little friend here. We should play Kahoot. We should play Kahoot. But we might do that after the next segment, which is... We just had the Nackanews, and the next segment of this stream is Swedish Word of the Week, where I'm going to teach you a word. And then after that, we might do some Q&A, random stuff. And then we might play some Kahoot, depending on the time that we got. Alrighty, my friends. Let me get this going. Oh my god, I'm being spammed. Shut up! Have fun. Okay, thank you. he wanted to be nice, basically. Alright, are you guys ready for some Swedish Word of the Week? Are you ready to learn some Swedish? I don't know if my computer's ready, but... Swedish Word of the Week! For some reason, it didn't work, and that is not today's word. I am well prepared today. Today's word, oh, this was actually last week's word. Today's word of the week is snöflinga, and for some reason the background is not there. Where's the background? All right, I'm gonna be in the dark here for some reason. Very nice. There we go. There we go. I'm sorry about, like, it was supposed to be like some sort of what's it called? Music going on there in the background, but for some reason it refused to go. There we go. Snöflinga is today's word of the week. I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of you guys could guess what it means. This word. It's pretty similar to the English translation of this, and we are getting some guesses here in the chat already. Snow thrower. Well, yeah, you could guess like flinging, like you fling. That's a good guess actually. Snowdrift, flings with snow. Okay, maybe it's not as obvious as I thought it were. Snöflinga is actually 2 words. Can I do? Yeah, I can do. This is actually 2 words, and I assume a lot of you have already guessed that this word means snow, which it does. Flinga means flake, so this means snowflake. Snöfnugg would be the Norwegian equivalent, apparently. That's not how you pronounce it in Norwegian, though. My Norwegian would probably be something like Snöfjugg. I don't know. Whoa! I disappeared. Oh my god! I'm gone. My Norwegian my Norwegian self disappeared. Hello. I'm sorry. I shouldn't attempt my Norwegian thingy. Oh my god, that's loud, by the way. All right, so getting into it. The snöflinga, as I said, means snowflake. It consists of two words, as I said. Just like in English, we have the word snö, my goddamn hand. Snö, which means snow, and flinga, which means flake. That's not even, you don't even need to learn this. What could be taught is how to say it from because I know a lot of you are trying to learn Swedish, and this letter over here, this nasty little letter, is called and it's one of 3 characters that we have here in Swedish that is different from the English language, and it might seem intimidating with those sort of letters, but it isn't. Most, like, all these 3 letters, O, A, and could be, I can find these pronounced in the English language, especially in the British accent. And I've actually done a video on this. I think it's called O, A, and 1000 sub celebration or something like that. You can search on my channel for that, where I try to teach you how to pronounce that that letter. But anyways, this word is pronounced snöflinga, and the N and G is just flinga. Anyways, why I took this word is mostly because it's considered to be a beautiful word, not only by me, but it's often on the top lists of the most beautiful words in the Swedish language. When you look at like websites and, you know, newspapers and stuff, it's most of the times up there in the top 10. And one of the reasons why I think this is a beautiful word, especially the Swedish variant, is because it makes me think about the winters with a lot of snow. You know, when you have this 2 meters amount of snow, which you just disappear into. That's what I think about when I hear the word snowflake, because something just falling down very, very, very slowly. Very, very nice. Snowflakes are your target audience. We're all millennials here. All right, Tulia, that's one way to see it. Snowflakes. Yeah, that's actually a word. I didn't think about that. It's a word that has recently became associated with the millennials, or people, or I don't know if the millennials they're pretty old now, aren't they? It makes me feel very old. But who feel special. They feel like a snowflake, because every single snowflake has a unique pattern. Very interesting word. Very interesting word. We don't use that word in Swedish for that sentence, or in that sense. We use it as just to describe the thing falling out over the sky. But I thought we should try to break down. I found a pretty much interesting thing about the word snow over there. Snö. As you can see, snö pretty much resembles the English word snow. And this has a reason. And I thought I should go through this together with you. This is at least what I found. And if anybody feels like, oh my god, you're so incorrect, then feel free to correct me in the chat while I do that. The word snö, the Swedish word snö, it comes from the old Swedish word that is snjor. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly though, but it's spelled snjor, or S-N-I-O-R. Anyways, snjor. And that word comes from the old Norse word snär. I don't know. I don't speak Old Norse. It's probably not snär, but I would pronounce it snär. But it's like snär. And that word comes from an old Germanic word, snaivas. And that, I know I don't pronounce that even close to how it's supposed to be pronounced. But it's S-N-A-I-W-A said. So it's snaivas. 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 Sounds a little bit Russian. But this is the reason why we have similar looking words in, for example, English. We have snow. Snö, snow, kind of resemble each other. We have in German, we have Schnee. Schnee, snow, snö, Schnee. And in Dutch, we have a word which I don't want to pronounce. Snow. If you're Dutch, I'm sorry. I can't pronounce Dutch word. Snow. Well, it looks the same, pretty much. And this word, or these words, are pretty much seems to have come from a branch, an Indo-European old branch of a word that was snaig or snaish. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's S-N-E-I-G. Snaig. Snaig? Snoig? Snaig. Whatever you want to pronounce it. And this word seems to have branched out into, for example, Latin. We have the word nix. I don't speak Latin, so anybody who wants to pronounce, like, help me pronounce this word, feel free. It's N-I-X. Nix. And yeah, I'm horrible. And for example, Russian, which is sniak. I don't speak Russian, but it's pretty close in Russian as well, which is pretty cool because Russian is a language is very, very far away from Swedish. It's not that far away. I'm just kidding, but it's in a different language group family. So to see certain words that hasn't been borrowed like recently, but has like carried on from an old tradition, is very fun to see. And it seems like a lot of words. This is my hobby idea of why it is like this, but it seems like a lot of words of things that existed back then are things that are common in a lot of other, like, are this pretty much the same in many languages. I know this is not a waterproof idea, but for example, if you take the word knife. In Swedish, you have kniv, which is spelled pretty much the same. Knife, kniv. But if you... so knives were present back then. But if you think about a word like a spoon, didn't exist back in the days. So spoon in Swedish is sked. And there must have been spoons back then. Am I stupid? I'm probably stupid right now. I think I was thinking about forks. Forks didn't exist back then. So fork is gaffel in Swedish. And gaffel and fork are pretty different. But this, as I said, this is a hobby idea that I got. I love comparing different languages. It's a lot of fun. It's very nice, very nice. I think it's very interesting to hear when certain languages, especially languages that are so far away from each other, have the same words, and not that have borrowed language, like borrowed a modern word. For example, in Swedish we have the word deadline. It's actually pronounced deadline in Swedish, and that is a modern word, which is something. I'm gonna teach you something here, or you probably knew this before. I didn't know it, but I learned it today. Apparently the word deadline in English is for the line which you drew for prisoners. If you cross this line, you're gonna be shot dead, which is the deadline. But today it means something different. A deadline is something which you have to work on before there's something has to be done by a certain timeline, and that's the deadline. And since there's no Swedish word for this, we simply say deadline. Jag har en deadline. I have a deadline. There's a lot of these. I think I've done one of these videos where I talk about Swedish direct loans into the Swedish, like English direct loans into the Swedish language. It should be searchable somewhere on my channel. But I might do more of those because there's a lot of new Swedish words coming into the Swedish vocabulary every single year, and there's a lot of new words that I don't even know about. One new word apparently is called ghosta, or to ghost, which is apparently, I say apparently a lot, don't I? It means to leave. If you're in a relationship, or I suppose in a very, very like new relationship, and if you break up with the person by just vanishing into the blue, you're apparently ghosting, or in Swedish, ghosta. But that word to me, I don't know if I accept that word. To me, ghosting or ghosta, it's been a word for me pretty much since I was about 13 or something, when Counter-Strike started to become a thing in this forsaken country of Sweden. But to ghost or ghosta in back then, or at least to me, was when you were on a LAN party or LAN party or whatever, your local area. You had your computers next to each other and you were playing a game. And to ghost was to look at your friend's computer to see what the other guys were doing. You weren't supposed to see what they were doing, but you were looking at that screen. Oh, he's over there. I'm gonna go over here and kill him. So that's to me the appropriate word for ghosta. But apparently, it's a new word there. Can you give the Swedish translation of fidget spinner? It's a very modern thing. Fidget spinner is called fidget spinner in Swedish. I'm sorry if I disappointed you there. If I were to directly translate it, it's like fibbelsnurra. Fibbelsnurra. There you go. I give you fibbelsnurra. There you go. Joachim is probably laughing his ass off right now. All right. There we go. The Swedish word of the week has ended, and if you just joined in, don't feel afraid. I will post this stream up on the channel afterwards when this stream is done. But we have entered the last phase of this stream, which is Q&A/randomness. So this is a part where I don't have that much planned. I actually have some parts planned, but I also want to check into the chat. I know I have been very absent from the chat. A lot of you have been talking a lot, and I've tried to like keep an eye. And as you can see here, the chat isn't working at all because this is connected to Twitch. And yeah, obviously there's no chats going on Twitch. We use that phrase in the US when you ghost somebody by breaking up with somebody by just so that's how you use it in the US. So that's the actual. Okay, maybe I'm just a geek for thinking it was like looking at your friend's computer screen. That's I am a geek. I am a computer nerd. I remember when I was a kid, being called a nerd or a computer nerd was such a bad word. It was one of the most horrible things you could say to one another. I remember this so vividly. A lot, like I had one neighbor. They visit us a lot. Like they were in our age, so they played in our house and we played in theirs and whatever. But I remember one instance. I was playing Diablo 1 or something. I was not old at all, but she came, "You're such a nerd." I was like, "No, I don't want to be a nerd." And every time they went over, or any like friend or whatever, I tried to like just shut down my computer because I didn't want to be called a nerd. But since then I've realized like it's pretty cool to be a nerd. Like I've learned a lot of things through spending time on my computer. I've learned a lot of English just you know, meeting people online and playing games. I have a very interesting memory from when I was very young, but I played the original FIFA, or the soccer game. It's not called soccer, it's football in Sweden. Sorry. Hey. Anyways, can I get an applause for that? Thank you. But I must have been like 4 or 5 or something. Very young, anyways. It was the first FIFA game. We're talking about like 93 or something. But in the segments between the period of time, like the half time, there was a commentator in the game saying in British English, "That's the end of the first half." And me, who didn't speak any word of English I'm like 4 or something. Obviously, I don't know that much English. I was like, "That's the end of the first half." And I think that's pretty cute, if I can call myself cute. But "that's the end of the first half" that's the end of the first half, and that was like my first steps into learning English. And I think it's an evidence that computer games are cool in that sense. Joachim, you translated fidget spinner into fippla. Fippelsnurra. Alright. Very English. There is no translation of fidget spinner in Hindi. One of my friends challenged me to translate it when I said I could speak Hindi well. Alright, interesting. I think we just call people cheating by ghosting, by looking at other species, screen cheaters. Or screen peekers, not as creative. I think ghosting is an English word, actually. I think it's as well known because we in Sweden took that word from the English. I think I even heard Soviet Womble, which is a very famous streamer, and from the UK. He uses the word ghosting, and his friends use it as well. So I think I want to say that it's pretty established nerd word. If that's a new word for you. But yeah, obviously it has two different meanings. All right, this is the random section. If you have any questions or stuff for me, feel free to post them in the chat below. I had a little bit of a thing that I wanted to go through with you that might be interesting, which is Sweden related. I wanted to keep this stream Sweden related, which is something I've tried to do on Twitch as well, but I realized that people don't even find me on Twitch, so I wanted to do this little test to do this on YouTube as well. All right, which is this? A few of you know this, but I live in the capital city of Sweden called Stockholm, and this is what the subway looks like. The subway route. We have a subway in Stockholm, and as you can see, there's a lot of water going on here in Stockholm. But we have three lines. We have the blue, the red, and the green line with a lot of stations going on. So, for example, if you go from, I don't know if you can see, it's behind me here, somewhere here in Skarpnäck, or maybe even Vårberg, for example, and try to go all the way up to the other part of the line, like over here in Hässelbystrand. It will take a good like an hour or 1 hour and a half to get through the whole freaking system. So it's a big subway system in that sense that it's pretty long in between the stations. Another thing that's interesting to note is that the Swedish subway system, or at least here in Stockholm, there aren't no other cities has that sort of subways, except for Malmö, I would say, but that's more of that's not a subway sort of thing. But anyways, a lot of these stations are above ground, so they aren't really a subway. But most of the stations here in the city, like Slussen, Medborgarplatsen, Skanstull, for example, they are below ground. But then as soon as you get like down south here, you go above ground. Telefonplan, yeah, that's very. But I thought we should. I found a very nice picture. I think this is very common among Swedes, but people have tried to translate all of these stations, but in like a direct translation sort of wise. So I thought we should do that. But before that, we need to check how Stockholm is doing. It's 5 degrees and stuff. Oh my god, it's so cold. It's so cold in Sweden. So cold in Sweden. This is, by the way, the Stockholm's Sergels Torg. This is in the center of Stockholm. Not many people out there, by the way. Let's have a look at this webcam. Oh my god, it's a night vision cam. That's not even fun to look at. Alright. So, we're gonna have a look at the translated version of this this map. Can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? No, I couldn't. We're gonna open this in a new tab, by the way, so I can zoom in. Very nice. All right, very nice. I love city webcams. Those are awesome, by the way. Yes. All right, so here we have the southern stations. These are not the correct translation for it. This is like directly translated into English. As you can see, it sounds a lot of fun, but actually, a lot of these stations, I think a lot of these stations, to us Stockholmers at least, are just names. I didn't really think about, like, this part. Fadertown Beach in Swedish is Farsta Strand. I like Fadertown is it's a well-known Farsta. It's a well-known place in Stockholm. It's in the south. But Farsta to me is just Farsta. It doesn't even, to me, it doesn't mean daddy town or father town, but it actually directly translates into that. I don't think that the if you trace back where that name comes from, it would probably not lead you to Daddy's Town, or probably something else. But it's interesting. Yeah, One Spoon Farm. Yeah, that was actually a thing we said back in the days as well. I grew up in this sort of area, which is a spoon farm. We translated it into one spoon farm, en skede. But it could be translated into a spoon farm as well. Hawk Meadow. Is that Hökarängen? Yeah, that's Hökarängen. Some of these I have to like think about myself what they mean. Then we have the globe. That's Globen. It actually is just a giant globe which you can visit. It's very nice. I can show you the Globen. I think it's worth visiting just to see it. This is like a landmark of Stockholm. A lot of people, when they think about Stockholm, they think about Globen, which is a big like arena. They play hockey in here, or they have concerts and stuff. Or otherwise, what people think about when they think about Stockholm is Stadshuset, the city hall, which is also, I think I've made a video about. If you're interested in looking at the Stadshuset and learning a little bit about that, I've done a vlog from Stadshuset. All right, so let's move into the map again. Please talk about Sharp Nude. Where are we? Sharp Nude. Sharp Nude, yes, here. Skarpnek, or I would actually translate this into Sharp Naked. Skarpnek is the end of the line of this like T17 green line over here. It consists of two words. Skarp means sharp, and neck does mean naked or nude. You can bathe neck. Bada neck. Bathe naked. It's a thing in Sweden. I should also add that these three lines are pretty much where I grew up. Like, I know this part of Stockholm the best, I would say. I know a lot of people who grew up on the north side. This is the south side. Who know those sort of places better. But, you know, it's nice. Gonna have a look over here on the red line, which is also in the south west, I would say. If we have a look on the original map, it's over here, as you can see. Here's the red line. It's going here on the right side. And we're looking, we have Smelt Castle, Wife Meadow. That is pretty accurate though. Fruängen, Wife's Meadow, pretty much. We also have the Old Man's Meadow. It should be on the green line. Where is it? Old Man's Meadow. Codger. Okay, they've why did they... Okay, they translated it to a word that I don't even know what that is. Wife's Meadow. Sounds like a horrible place. Fruängen. We also have Herrängen, which is like man's meadow, or like husband's meadow as well. Spring Mountain. As you can see, a lot of places, and this goes for cities as well in Sweden, are related to the nature. And when I think about it, a lot of surnames in Sweden are related to nature as well. So, for example, one of the the most common surnames in Sweden, I've done a video about this as well, as you might know, are obviously Son, like the son of Anders or whoever, Andersson, whatever. But when we go through that, like a lot of surnames in Sweden consist of just nature names. Like you could be called Björk, which means birch tree. So you're just like Johan Björk, like Johan Birch. Or you can be called Sten as a first name. That means stone. It literally means stone. My name is Stone. You can be called Björn, which means bear. My name is Björn. My name is Bear. This is just... It sounds a little bit like native Indian, sort of. My name is Björn. But you have a lot of those. But then if you look at the surnames, you have like combinations of surnames as well. Lundberg, which means alley mountain. Or you have like there's a made up name. It's probably somebody's probably called this Stenstig Granqvist. It probably means it literally means stone. No, Stenstig Granqvist, like stone path, pine tree branch. So you can be called that if you want to, but yeah. What about Lindqvist? Lindqvist means lind is a certain tree. It's called lind. It's a tree type, and kvist means branch. So it's a certain type of tree. Let's see if I can find the lind for you. It's called Tilia cordata in Latin, apparently. It's a lind apparently in... Okay, no, that was... It's a surname, principally of the Scandinavian... Nice, okay. Images, let's look at the... This is the leaves of the lind, by the way. So it's a branch of that. My name is Wind's Little Oak Tree. Very nice. I suppose that's in Finnish, though. Midsummer's Garland, was it? Yeah, Midsommarkransen. Yeah, that's very nice. And this one, I remember when I heard about this place for the first time. That's Telephone Square. You can't see the mouse, can you? Yeah, you can. It's called Telefonplan. I hadn't heard about this because when I was a kid, I didn't go on the Red Line that often. But when I heard it, I was like, this must be fake. But it's true. There's a place in Stockholm called Telefonplan or Telephone Square. Another interesting, where is it? Exhale. Yeah, this is my favorite one. Exhale. I promise you, in Swedish, it actually means blås ut. It's just like, and it was a common joke amongst us kids when we rode past that one. That like, oh, you have to exhale when you go. It's not. It's just kids jokes, you know. Lind in Polish is lipa. Oh, interesting. All right, we're moving up here into. Now we are on the south side of the city, so we're in the central parts of the city, but the south side, kind of the hipster part of Stockholm. We have, for example, Hornstull, which is apparently Hornstull. I didn't know that. We have the Sinks Pond, like Sink Pond. It's called Zinkensdamm. It's literally a pond of sink in Swedish. Mary's Market, Mariatorget, the sluice. I don't know. I didn't know this was a word in English. It's slussen in Swedish. Slussen is basically where you have boats getting into a certain, like, there's different water levels, and you get into this sort of a dock sort of thingy where the water races up so that you can get into onto a certain level of water, and that's a sluice in Swedish. Then we have the Old Town, which is pretty much the Old Town. It's the most famous place, I would say, for people who are visiting Stockholm as a tourist to go to, because it's a very touristy place. It is literally the Old Town of Stockholm, so it's very old buildings. I think they are from like the 1600s or even 1500s. Most of the Old Town burnt down in the Great Fire of Stockholm, because it was made of wood. The whole freaking, as a lot of cities were back then, and all of the houses were very closely next to each other. So it's pretty new in that sense. The older Old Town was even before that. It was on the same place. I was on one of those boats through the sluice. It was so fascinating. How interesting. Did he say anything about Arnqvist? I missed out. Arnqvist, on is a Swedish word. I think, I don't actually know what that means. Synonymer. Synonymer. Let's see what it means. There are no... Okay, let's see what it means. Definition, or I should probably do like Wikia. Arn, Wikia. This is English pages. Betyder. Anybody who knows what it means. Oh, here we can have. It means a lot of things. It's just a name, I think. It's an old Viking name. Okay, so it's an old Viking name, and apparently means... On is an old Norse name that has been on runestones, apparently. On has the meaning eagle, or örn. So it means eagle branch. Or Joachim tells me here that it means eldstad, or fireplace. Okay, so it means fireplace? Weird. Okay, so it's a fireplace or an eagle. As you can see, I don't know that well of what that name means. But if you're interested, please feel free to do some research for what it means. It doesn't make any sense to a Swede, but kvist is a branch and arn is a name, so it's an yeah. Maybe it has a double meaning in origin. Probably has. A lot of Swedish words like deviate from...
Välkommen till Twitch-klubben.
Oh, somebody joined the Twitch-klubben. Welcome. By the way, when I heard that, I wanted to do some commercial for that. For you guys that don't know, I do these sort of live streams over at Twitch, usually. And if you're interested, go over and follow me on Twitch. I do live streams on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. CT, Swedish time, and then Sundays at 7 p.m. CT, that is now. Let's get back into this. All right. So here we are in the central. This is central of Stockholm. It's called Subway Central. I don't know. I would probably call it... Yeah, probably call it Subway Central, because it's in Swedish it's called T-centralen, or T-central, where the T is short for tunnelbana, or subway in Swedish. Tunnelbana, by the way, is a word... tunnelbana is the Swedish word for subway. It's two words. Tunnel meaning tunnel, obviously, and bana means line, so it's a tunnel line in Swedish. Anyway, so this is the city central. It's probably where you're gonna end up if you visit Stockholm, like if you fly in or something. You often end up here, and this is the major like point where you go on to the different lines. You have to switch here in order to go to the blue line, or if you want to go to the green line from a certain position. And from there we have a very short stop over to the King's Garden, or Kungsträdgården. I noticed that a lot of these like central names aren't that funny. They are pretty much just what they are. Odin Square, it's Odenplan. Judge Street, what is that? Rådmansgatan. No, that wouldn't be Judge Street. That would be... Rådman is like it was an occupation back in the way, back in the days. Cityman Street. So the City Hall Street. City Hall Man Street. I don't know. I'm trying to translate them in my head. Haymarket is a good translation for Torget. But yeah, these are just as there is. If we look at the north part of Green Line, see if we have any fun names here. Big Bog, Abraham's Mountains, Åkers Court, Meadow Village Square, Iceland Market. We have Islandstorget in Sweden. I don't know why we have Iceland Market here. Just Iceland Market. This is like, why not the Norwegian Market? But this is the Iceland Market, apparently. We have the Rockstar, Gruel Village, Johns Grove, Hazel Village Farm, and Hazel Village Beach. Which sounds like bitch when I say it. Sorry. Nothing very fun there. If we look at the blue northern line, though, see if we have the Water Lily. Raspberry Mountain sounds like some sort of Beatles song. Raspberry Mountains, la 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 la. And then we move up to a very interesting, this is directly translated into coffin, kista. A lot of people think that it is, kista is the word for coffin actually, but this place is pronounced kista, which is something else. It's she, which is an old something meaning something in old Swedish, and sta is a short word for city. So it's a blah 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 city. I think she is where you gathered either cows or sheep or something. Can't remember. I don't want to put my coins on it. River source, what is that? Is that Akalla? I think it's Akalla. Okay, I don't know what it is. Up here we have Pigeon's Nest, Rice Island, Rissne, oh yeah, okay. Rink Village, Rodtown, and Wheeltown. Have you been to Wheeltown? Hjulsta. Coffin is pretty morbid, yeah, it is. But it isn't actually, but yeah, it's pretty fun. In German we call it Untergrundbahn or U-Bahn, which means sub-tram, if you directly translate it. Well, it sounds a little bit like the Swedish one. Pigeon's Nest, can you see? What is it? Duvbo. Yeah, it's actually it means pigeon's nest. Duva is the Swedish word for pigeon. Duva. All right, not very funny those either. I think the funniest ones were on the green line. All right, moving on to the red north line here. Oh yeah, here we have a bit funny one. This one is my favorite up here. Shoutstone. Shoutstone! So basically, it's in Swedish it's ropsten. Rop is a Swedish word that means to shout, and sten means stone. But I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be like shoutstone. Rop is probably a stone where you did something back in the days, like in the old Viking era or something. Maybe, I don't know, grinding wheat or whatever, something. I don't think it's shoutstone. And then we have the awful village hospital. What the hell? What is that? Danderyds. I think that is a very, probably Danderyd. Okay, so Dande is an old word meaning something. Dande betyder... There is no... Okay, somebody did a weird translation for that, but Danderyd sjukhus. It is a hospital up there, so you go to a hospital if you want to go there. And then we have the Tender Village Center. So it's a tender village. Mörby Centrum. It actually means Mörby, but I don't think Mörby, that's not how you pronounce it, Mörby. I don't think Mörby means tender village. It's just directly translated. Mountain Hammer. Oh, Odin Power. The university, that's a boring one. It's actually called just Universitetet. The Technical College and Stadium. Interesting here is that these are, like, the universities is the place to go if you want to go to the Stockholm University. I went there for a short 1 year before I dropped university. But then I had to go to the university subway line. Stadium is actually called the stadium. It's just stadion. It's just stadium. Because that's the original stadium where we had the Olympics, actually. Stadion. Let's see if we can find images of it. It's a pretty nice looking stadium. It's not very big. But it's very... Okay, it's Stockholm Stadion. I think you have to that. It's this one. It's a very old one. I think this... I don't know when it was built, but it's so small, but it's like how Stockholm used to be. This is how it looks like. Very nice. Let's see if we have some Wikipedia on it. No, not that one. Stockholm Olympic Stadium. It opened in 1st of June 1912. By the way, that's a Swinglish thing. When you hear me now, we can't pronounce J properly in Swedish. As soon as we see the letter J, we pronounce it with a like you would pronounce Y, for example. So here we have June. It should be pronounced June, but in Swedish it would pronounce June. So if you want to speak Swinglish, then you should say June and not June. Okay. Done this according to the opposite of awful, related to done. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so some interesting facts about this stadium. It was the home field for one of 3 big teams in Stockholm in the football leagues called Djurgården. We also have AIK and Hammarby, and I think also Brommapojkarna is in the top series as well. Nothing. It doesn't mention anything of interest here. Perhaps if you're interested, but you know, I'm not interested that much. Did I say 1902? Are you correcting me, by the way? Did I say 1902? It says open 1912. 1st June 1912. Did I say 1902? It's probably because I just wanted to say 02 because it sounds so freaking fancy when you say 02. Alright, guys, that was a little bit of a trivia going on through the Swedish subway. I wanted to do this for a long time on like a video, but I couldn't find the format for it because it's not that type of thing that you do as a video. Why is everybody saying 90? Oh, it's just one guy saying. Okay, never mind then. Never mind me. But anyways, very interesting. If you are, I don't know how many of you are interested in visiting Stockholm or Sweden in general, but there's a lot of very nice art on the subway stations of Stockholm as well. It's one of the things that it's known for. Let's see if we can find some interesting subway art. Subway art Stockholm. Ba-ba-bum-bum. But anyways, it's one of the reasons why you should like go and just visit, like go on the subway on the different stations just to look at the art, especially the stations that are below ground, which is mostly on the blue line, I would say. So here we see some art from the Stockholm subway. It's very down, very low. This station is very down below the earth. My English is breaking. I think this is the Stockholm Central, or is this Stadion? It says Stadium, sorry. Yeah, this is a stadium. Yeah, but it looks very nice. They all take the freaking same. There's one on the Kungsträdgården. Let me see. Kungsträdgårdens station. Oh, you can barely see it, but there's like art installations on it as well. What? Okay. Oh, yeah. This is very nice. Anyways, I would recommend you guys to visit it when you get a chance to. So yeah, Stockholm is one of the cities that I recommend you to visit, but I also recommend you to go like all across this the good country of Sweden. There's a few. I haven't been all like across the whole country, but it's a bit of a lot of cities that are very nice to visit, anyways. But expect like if you're outside of the major cities like Stockholm, Malmö, and Göteborg, the cities are pretty small. Like at least to me, who I'm used to being in a big city in quotation marks, but. but nonetheless, those cities are very, very, very nice as well. And I would say the likeliness of maybe talking to people are, well, I shouldn't say. I should say, like to meet people in Sweden is a bit of a difficulty in itself, but perhaps you get better luck in the bigger cities, going out on like pubs and stuff. That would be my best bet on doing that. Where would you visit to see the Northern Lights? You would definitely be up north. I haven't personally not seen the Northern Lights, and that is one of the reasons to that is because it doesn't come down here to Stockholm where we're located. But you have to go pretty far up to get like good chances of seeing it. I would actually recommend you to go up north to a place called Kiruna. Kiruna, why did I say with a Finnish accent? But if we're looking at the map of Sweden, I'm zooming in. Here's Suecia. Here we have Stockholm over here. As you can see, it's very far down. But I would recommend you to go up here. Kiruna. I don't know if you can see how it's spelled. It's spelled K-I-R-U-N-A. I'm horrible at this, sorry. I haven't been there myself. The first north I've been is to Piteå up here. Which is not, it's far up north, but it's not as far up north as you can go. It's a pretty long country, and if you were to drive, I think if you drive non-stop from the very top down to the south, it would take more than a day, and you have to drive like non-stop. And if you look at Sweden as a whole, if you put another Sweden, you get down to Italy or somewhere. So compare Sweden to like Germany. We're a pretty long damn country. I think we are the third largest country in Europe if you count like size-wise, but there aren't that many people living in Sweden if you compare it to other countries. If you could compare Sweden to London, for example, which London is a city which contains as many people as living in this big area. So that's a little bit of a perspective going on. Why are our countries so long? That's a good question. I don't actually know. I doubt a lot of people know why, but we just know. And if you think about it, like why countries are, it's just a matter of where a certain person decided to draw a certain line. It could very well be like 400 different countries in the size of Sweden. So on like on the top of each other, but it isn't. It's just one country. I want to see the Northern Lights too. We can sometimes see it here in the west of Norway, but the conditions have to be just right with as little city lights as possible. And this sounds a bit like here in Stockholm as well. We did have a chance to see it like 2 years ago, but I didn't see it because we have a lot of light pollution going on in Stockholm. So you have to go far out in the country to see anything of that. Hanna Luft, do you have a job outside YouTube? Oh, that's actually a thing I wanted to talk about with you. Thank you for mentioning that, by the way. No, yes, I do have a job outside YouTube, but a thing that I want to talk about with you today here on the stream is I recently looked at my Patreon page and I saw a lot of people quit their pledge on Patreon, which is totally fine for me. If you're not interested in supporting the channel, or if you don't have the chance of supporting me in any way, then that's totally fine. I love you. Still the same amount. But yes, I do have another job outside of YouTube, and that one of the reasons of that is because I have to get the money, the cash, the dollar bills. We don't have dollars in Sweden, but in order to survive. But it would be one of my biggest dreams is to be able to do this on full time. And in order to do that, you know, I have to, you know, get them dollar bills. But yeah, no, I don't get nearly close to being able to live out of this, which is a little bit sad. I wish I could do it, because then I would be able to spend even more time making videos and streaming and stuff. And as I said in the beginning of the stream, I have been a bit absent on YouTube lately, and which I assume is one of the reasons why people decided to stop pledging on Patreon and, you know, donating in general, which I totally see the point, and I agree with you. I haven't been that active, actually, and that is about to change, my people and friends. I will try to start uploading a bit more frequently. I know it has been like a month in between the videos, and as soon as I do the videos, it's about like 2-minute videos, and I assume a lot of you guys become a little bit let down in a way, and I don't want to let you guys down. And actually, I have a lot of video ideas. It's just about getting the time to record them and edit them. That's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to reach out a hand. I'm still here, and I love you guys, and I love all the support that you're giving me on the videos and on Twitter and on in the chat right now. So very, very nice. But I'll try to work on that. And if you have any ideas and suggestions for videos, and if you're thinking, oh my god, he should talk about this, oh my god, I want to learn about this, feel free to either tweet me or post a comment on a video. I try to read every single comment. I know there's a lot of comments going on, but you know, feel free to just at me on Instagram or whatever. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram and Twitter, do that. Never mind. But I'm open for any types of suggestions. Very nice. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate all the support and the love, and I hope that you don't feel left out sometimes when I go silent. Yeah. But you know, sometimes when I go silent, I have to be honest, it's just that I don't know. I'm one of those people who get sidetracked sometimes. I'm like, I'm super into this now, and then suddenly I'm super into this. Now I have to do this. But lately, actually, I've been scheduled to do. I work part-time as a musician, and I do music for video games and movies and stuff, which I don't know if anybody of you knew that. But anyways, I have been in the late stages of finishing a soundtrack for a video game, which has been very hectic. So I've been putting a lot of time into finishing that soundtrack. It's not even finished as we're speaking. I still have a few tracks still to do. But what I'm thinking is that I want to make a video where I play that game together with you guys. Because I haven't played the game. I've seen like videos from it where I've tried to compose to the video game. But it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna get the beta for it pretty soon. So that's one video idea that I want to do. And then of course I have all the different Swedish related ideas that I want to film, and some hidden secret ideas that I don't wanna spoil. But basically, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't had time. And if you feel like, oh my god, this guy is bringing a little bit of hope and joy into my life, then feel free to support me. And if you can't, then I'm a Swede. I can't tell you that you're bad because you aren't. No, but feel free to do that to support the channel. You had a vlog about making music that I watched a while back. Oh yeah, that old thing. I remember when I did those vloggy sort of thingies. It was so out of my league of doing those vloggy sort of things. I don't know. It doesn't feel like me doing it, but I might have to do those sort of videos in the beginning of next year, as I am actually going away. I'm going abroad for 3 months, 3 entire months, So I will have to find a way to figure out how to make videos and upload them when I'm abroad. I still hope you're gonna make a video on Latvian. I will. Abroad too. I'm actually gonna spend 3 months in India, and I might even go over to Sri Lanka as well. But we're gonna travel around, visiting stuff there. I haven't been to India, and I haven't been to Sri Lanka either, so it's gonna be very, very fun. So I might become Nackagubben for a while, but Indian gubben. How would you say it in Swedish? Nackagubben. But yeah, so I might even be able to bring like a computer to edit stuff. I might need to, but yeah, I will figure it out. Don't worry. I'm Indian and I give very good travel tips. Very nice. Oh, trips or tips? Trips. Oh, okay. I don't know if you mean tips or trips. Stay away from Delhi. I'm actually landing in Delhi, so I can't really. But we haven't planned on staying too long in Delhi, actually. But we feel like when I went on a 3-month like round trip of Thailand a while back, and I really enjoyed going pretty much across the whole country just to see like the big cities and to see the countryside and stuff, just to get a better understanding of how the country works. And I would actually encourage you guys to do the same thing if you were to visit Sweden someday. If you visit only Stockholm, you will get one portion of the country. You wouldn't understand how the country looks like in the northern part, or you wouldn't understand how the country looks in the southern part, like in Malmö, for example, or even in the countryside of Skåne. So I would really encourage you to do that if you have the money and the time to do that. But I try to do the same thing while I'm traveling as well. So yes, but anyways, that's a different segment in this channel's existence, where I try to vlog or upload videos from a different country. It's gonna be interesting. Hey Nacka, this is Kugali. I've been supporting you from the shadows. I'm on the bed, very, very sick. Take care and a big hug. Get well soon, doppelganger. Meow. Very nice nickname, by the way. Very nice to see you over here as well. And I'm sorry if I'm not streaming over at Twitch, as I usually do on these on Sundays.
Oj,
oh my god!
Trevligt.
20!
I appreciate your content. Keep it up.
Thank you so much for that, Joshua Matthews. And $20, oh my god. Makes me so happy. Love you for that. Thank you. It was a while since I saw one of those, but thank you for supporting the stream and making it a reality. Oh my god, Joshua, you made my day. Your evening, rather. I hope you're having a splendid day out there. Anyways, as I was saying, we have the schedule. Oh no, not that the one. That's the that one. That was the one I wanted to say. I usually stream over at Twitch on Wednesdays, 1 p.m. CT, and Sundays. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this on YouTube or not, but we'll see. I might do it actually on YouTube more often. But I really like the more game streams over on Twitch. So yeah. But yes, guys. Today we have done some quiz. I learned that I'm not very good at differentiating Cantonese and Mandarin. I don't know how good you guys are at it. But it's definitely something I need to check into, the whole Asian aspect of languages. I'm not good at all at those. I'm more comfortable up here in the northern part of Europe.
Oj, donation.
Oh my god!
Trevligt.
Joachim, thank you so much.
I appreciate your Swedishness.
I appreciate your Swedishness. Thank you for that, Joachim. I know you have to cut the the Patreon you did, or the pledge, because you have to support your family. I appreciate the offer, or the money that goes into this. Thank you. Hello, Henry, by the way. Where was I? I got sidetracked. Anyways, yeah, and then we did some Nackanews, where I told you a little bit about a Swedish documentary about food waste. I'll try to post these on Twitter, by the way. I had 2 good links. One about the Swedish elections and how the Swedes actually voted. I'll try to post that together with the Swedish television documentary link as well in my Twitter. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter, it's gonna be down here somewhere. That is my Facebook, but it's appearing here on a regular basis. Here we have the Twitch channel, for example, so be sure to check that one out. But yes, I will post that after the stream is done. And then after that, we actually did the Swedish Word of the Week, where I taught you the word snöflinga. And if you're new to the stream right now and you wonder what we're talking about, what the hell is snöflinga? What does that mean? You can rewatch the stream. I will post the stream here after the stream is done. I hope you liked the very odd number. It was a very odd number, Joachim. It was 6 point something something something. Was it like euro? Like euro translated into USD or something? Very weird. Thank you so much for that, by the way. And then finally we did some randomness Q&As, which is what we're doing right now. Learned a little bit about the Stockholm subway. I don't know how given you think it is when I sum these streams up. I know it sounds a little bit weird for you who've been into this in the stream since the beginning of the stream, but I try to keep it somewhat professional. I know I'm not professional in any ways, but I give myself an applause.
Vad fan sitter du och säger?
All right, guys. Sunday stream. Nej, sluta inte nu, jag kommer nu. I'm sorry, Henry. Sorry. I want to keep these streams short and concise and full of good content, and I just feel right now that my brain is going into areas where it's not gonna end up well. And if you guys have been on the if you've been following me on Twitch, I've done a few questionable moments which has been clipped. Unfortunately, there's gonna be up on Twitch forever. Let me see if I can find one of these. I'd love when people clip stuff. Twitch. Let me see if I can find these. But that's one of the reasons why I try to end while I just feel when my brain goes into that mode of not in a good place. I love this video. I don't know. This is a typical Twitch stream for you. Okay, fuck this. I love the part. I was like, this song didn't end. Oh my god. J Matthew won. One hell on the second place. Lulz first.
I don't know what to mine. I'll mine this anyway. In this Minecraft day.
Show the Nackadansen. Oh yeah, I think I have the Nackadansen here on my desktop. Let me see. I don't know why I saved it. Here it is. Where are you? Oh no! I closed all windows. God damn it. Let me see if I can open it. There we go. That's a nice gift by Joachim. Let's see if we can find another one. I think I have another one here somewhere. Where is it? There we go. Let's see. this one. Where are you? So if you feel like, oh my god, I missed this, feel free to join me over at Twitch next time we stream there. Is there an expression in Swedish that translates to Monday morning designs? If you can explain this expression, Monday morning designs. Oh, yes, we do have a Swedish word for that. Actually, let me. I can type it here. No, I can't really type it here. It's called måndagsexemplar, which means like Monday piece, or like not a Monday piece. Let me see if I can translate it here in the. Okay, let's go to the browser. Sorry if I'm switching a lot. So this is the word for Monday design, måndagsexemplar. So it means it's two words. Måndag meaning Monday, and måndagsexemplar is Mondays. Exemplar, engelska, you can see what I can't translate sometimes. Where is? Oh, sorry. Translator. Swedish. A copy. A Monday copy. Why couldn't I translate it in my head? This people. This is why we need to end this stream pretty soon. Because...
Vad fan sitter du och säger?
Oh my god. Oh. Thank you so much for the support. Joachim is basically spamming the chat with trying to get people to donate and follow me. The context was about software. Yeah, like måndagsexemplar is something you can say about everything. You can say, yeah, like this car is a måndagsexemplar. This is a Monday copy. It was made on a Monday. It's not a good, it's a defective thing. It's not working as it should. Oh my god. Guys and girls and people, I'm sorry if I'm losing my mind sometimes. But tomorrow is Monday. Yes, tomorrow is Monday. And hopefully I gave you a bit of a good start of the week. Maybe you have your Monday has already started, or it's a bit a while until Monday starts. But hopefully I made you smile, or, you know, made you learn something this fine Sunday evening. It is now 10 to 9 p.m. here in Sweden. I'm gonna have a short last look at Stockholm. It is now 5 degrees over there. Not many people moving on the streets, which is, I would say, pretty, what would you say? Normal for Sunday evening, wouldn't you say? Hörde du det jävla måndagsexemplar? Hörde du det? I really want to make a video again about Swedish dialects, which I will, which probably gonna be one of the next videos I'm gonna make. But yeah, the first stream of yours that I watched, I had fun time learning. Thank you so much for hearing that. How's your real first name spelt? My real first name. How many of you know what my real first name is? I'm gonna give it to you. Give it to you. Is it something wrong on the microphone? Did I do something? Okay, everybody who have a guess on what my real name is. Hans August. Joachim. Hans August. No, my name is not Hans August. My real name, a few of you have guessed it. It's Johan. Sven de las Mercedes. What the hell? You look like an Anders. What the hell? I don't look like an Anders. My real name is Johan. It's Johan. Johan. That's my real name. It's not Felix like PewDiePie. I'm sorry. And his name is not Felix. Oh, Felix is Felix in Swedish. Wait, was it actually on? No, I know very few people called Anders, but Anders is a pretty common name in Sweden, actually. You won. Yeah, you won. That's how it's pronounced. Hallå, skutan, kul att se dig live. Hur är läget? Det är bra, eller? Hur är det med dig? Är det bra, eller? Jag ska precis sluta streamen då. Ja, för fan. It's not Felix, it's Felix. Felix, it's called. Anyways, sorry, I'm dragging this out too much. I want to do this outro though. I love doing this outro. So you're gonna get ready. In about 1 minute, I'll end this episode or this stream. It's not an episode, but my mind is going bananas. I'm gonna time this. I'm gonna time this so well. All right, guys. I hope you had a splendid time here. I always have a splendid time with you guys. And as I said, if you want to support the stream or support the channel, feel free to donate or become a patron. I will do better. I will better myself at making more videos more often and about more relevant things. And hopefully they will be longer as well. Not only 2.5 minutes as the last one was.
Oj!
Oh my god! Here as we target! Thank you so much, Maria!
Lovely to see you. Sorry, not much, but IT means a lot from what I have.
Oh, thank you so much, Maria. I also want to send a big thank you to Joachim and Joshua for sending donations. You guys make this stream or this channel a reality, and I hope you all get a good week, all of you. And we're about to end this stream here as this build-up goes upwards. I love this song, by the way. Alright, guys. I hope you had a splendid time here together with me. Until the next time, I see you and the pretty faces. Have a splendid day out there and stay safe.
sitter du och säger? Vad fan sitter du och säger? Vad fan sitter du och säger? Vad sitter du och säger? fan sitter du och säger? Sitter du och säger?